I'm Eric Russell, and this is Out and About at the Lavender Lens, and I'm here with film historian David Johnson. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine. How are you?
This was a magnificent piece of cinema.
Oh, great. I'm glad you feel that way.
So it's not really a documentary. This was a film montage.
Yes.
Can you give us a little history of how you put this all together? And
Oh, gosh. Well, I have to say that I started with Vito Russo's book, The Celluloid Closet. But I didn't want to be involved in the project. I knew some of the people that were doing that project, and they had different ideas. And I like montage. I just like letting clips say what they have to say, just nothing but film clips. The one clip relates to the next clip, which carries on to the next. And so I decided I wanted to do that, and I started collecting clips. And I got help from the best people in the world. I mean, some of the best film historians in the world opened their vaults and gave me copies of things, and so it's not just my work. It was, a lot of wonderful, talented people who allowed me to do that.
now some of these clips go back as far as the 1800s.
Well, 1895 is
Okay.
the earliest, which is actually it's an experimental Edison film that was actually a sound film
Okay.
with the two men dancing. It was an experiment with synchronizing sound and film, and they were playing the violin while these two guys danced as an experiment. And it's a stretch. I mean, there's nothing gay about it except it's two men dancing, and it got the name the Gay Brothers, I think.
Yeah, film is supposed to reflect who we are as a culture and society.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were a young person growing up, gay or lesbian, those time periods, those stereotypes, were they pulled from what people already knew? Did the people performing it know it, or do you think it was kind of like contrived? These are like negative things, and we're really pushing that negative stereotype.
Well, I think if a stereotype doesn't have some basis in truth, it's not valid. But so there's some basis in truth. I mean, we are sissies, and we do scream, and we do love Judy Garland, and all of those things. But I don't know. I think a lot of stereotypes are that. They're just stereotypes. They're manufactured. They don't reflect real people. But it's one of those things. What can I say? It's people's idea of who we are. I mean, like large gangs of lesbians roaming the streets. I've never been accosted by a gang of lesbians. Well, maybe once or twice, but.
The film clips that are like newsreel. Those were propaganda pieces that were created.
For the most part, some of them are real newsreels.
Okay.
The one about there's some hearing about homosexuals in
Right.
the army. That was the anti-communist fever.
Okay.
Commies and fags were sort of
The two big things.
the two biggest enemies. Some of those things that posed as sex education films were actually sleazy exploitation films, like Chained Girls. With the dyke never feels shame or remorse for what she's done and all
Right.
that. That was a sleazy exploitation film, which I adore. I love. The sleazier the better.
I love the fact from the animation was Bugs Bunny.
Oh, well, that
Bugs
was the
Bunny.
thing. I wanted to be involved in the Celluloid Closet, and they said they weren't interested in doing Bugs Bunny. And I said, well, you can't do a movie about gays in the film without doing Bugs Bunny, and they didn't understand that sensibility. So that's when I went on my own direction. Basically, it was made with 2 VCRs and a special effects generator.
Well, watching it, like especially some of the animated things that were shown like to kids, like the pirate pieces and the Betty Boops, there's a lot of violence towards like the sissy and the fop and the gay character, and that almost seems to move through even some of the movies. We see them being treated in a belittling manner and stuff.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
that theme? Did you see that when you're putting this together?
Oh,
like,
absolutely, yeah. I mean, well, ultimately, the only good thing a faggot can do at the end of the movie is bump himself off.
And that was the final
the
pieces
final
there,
piece,
yeah.
There's no such thing as redeeming a gay.
Okay.
A gay man. Mostly, they didn't say that these people, a lot of these characters, they never said they were gay. It was implicit.
They never come around and say, "Oh, they are." It's just very implicit.
And a lot of people wouldn't think they were gay. For example, and this is the army, the drag queens.
Right.
They were actually gay officers in World War II, and they didn't know what to do with the queers, and so they put them in a drag show.
There was an actual drag show during World
There
War
was
II
an
that
actual
toured
drag
around.
show, with Irving Berlin. He would appear and come out singing "This Is the Army."
Okay. Films have progressed. We're starting to see more positive role models in movies.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to do like a second part to this, like looking from movies from '95 moving forward?
I'm not sure there's a film in that because that era's changed. I mean, there's more acceptance, and it's I don't know that it would be interesting.
Okay.
I thought about that, but I don't see it. I don't see that there's that much there. If you know what I'm saying, that I don't know that, because we are becoming more mainstream, and the stereotypes haven't gone, but I would like to see a gay character whose sexuality is totally irrelevant to the story. You don't see very much of that, where a person just happens to be gay and it has nothing to do with the storyline.
Yeah.
In real life, people just happen to be gay,
This has been absolutely wonderful. Again,
Thank
this
you.
was a magnificent piece of cinema to see tonight. I'm glad we could have it here at Richmond Triangle
Well,
Plays.
great. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Eric Russell, and this has been Out and About with the Lavender Lens here at Richmond Triangle Players. You never know who will show up next, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for checking in.